Okay, for the next set, you're going to really need to know your vocabulary, and there's a couple typos, so make sure we're paying attention. So, on this first one, number 5, remember what I said, if you use your color coding, because we have parallel lines, and we have a transversal. So, whenever we have parallel lines, cut by a transversal, we have certain properties that occur. And so, I don't know if you can see that's yellow, but I'm pretty much doing my green and my yellow on the color. So, since the line of X is parallel to line Y, state which lines or which angles are supplementary. So, with parallel lines cut by transversals, there's two facts you need to know: which ones are congruent, because that's one of the properties that occur, special relationships with those angles, and which ones are supplementary. Remember, if they have the same color, they're going to be congruent. If they have two different colors, they're going to be supplementary. So, they want me to look at 3 and 6. So, here's 3, here's 6. It has two different colors. We're looking for supplementary, so that works. That's true. Then we go to 1 and 6. Here's 1 and 6. 1 is green, 6 is yellow. That is true. It's supplementary. 2 and 6. 2 and 6 have the same color, so they would not be supplementary. And then 2 and 7, yellow and green. Those are supplementary. So my answer here is C. Okay, good job if you got that. Now, again, we want you to make sure you know your vocabulary. I don't know if I need to zoom in on this. But on our vocab, the key words here says we want us to look at, it says the main street runs parallel to Smith Street and Avenue T crosses both of them. So there's basically telling us that we have these two streets here that are parallel, and Avenue T is the transversal. The angles formed at the corner at Sue and Joe's house are classified as which types of angles? This is knowing our vocabulary. So Sue's and Joe's house. We need to find Sue's house. Sue's house is right here. Joe's house is right here. So these are on opposite sides of the transversal. These are what we call alternate interior angles. So if you got A, good job. There will be a question just making sure you know how to do your vocabulary. All right, on number 7. This one was like number 3 that we did on the previous video. So again, if we see these arrows, let's go ahead and extend, because they're showing me that they're parallel lines. Let's extend the lines, and let's use our transversals. So I'm going to start with my transversal AE. My transversal AE creates corresponding angles with 54. So I'm going to put 54 here. These are corresponding. They would be congruent. Then I have another transversal. I have this transversal CD. So I'm going to draw a line to show that transversal. That transversal creates alternate interior angles. So 86 and 86. And now I can use what we did on problem 3 to find the Y. So let's say that was Y. To find that missing angle, I would say Y equals 180, using that all three are supplementary, minus 86 plus 54. And that ends up being 40 degrees. Okay. 8 and 9 go with the picture at the bottom. That was missing on this, so you have to use a diagram down here to answer 8 and 9. And I fixed mine. So on this one, it should have been ADE, and I think yours had ADC. So just make sure we're looking at ADE. So again, we have these arrows. I can extend these lines to see the relationship. There's two transversals here. There's that. There's my parallel lines. Okay, there's my parallel lines. And I can look at the transversal AB. So if I want to find the measure of ADE, that's this angle here, so the transversal on the first parallel line, and I would see that it corresponds with angle ABC. So it's going to equal 78 degrees, and because we have corresponding, and I'm just going to abbreviate that, corresponding angle with angle ABC, which are congruent. Now, the second one is asking us to look at angle BDE. BDE is here, and I'm hoping you see now that they're both in between. 78 and BDE are in between the parallel lines. And I hope you see that they are same side interior. Okay, so if this is 78, to find this angle here, I would have to do 180 minus 78. Okay, so this will end up being 102. And this will be because we have same side interior angles are supplementary. I'll just abbreviate that. Alright, so of these, your test like, I forgot to state that, is number 6, okay, and number 8. 6 and 8 are the test light. Should start off with that. Now, when we get to 10 through 13, we are also using our vocab, just straight vocab questions and making sure we can draw and apply the vocab. So on number 10, again, we have parallel lines. We want to find our transversal since we're dealing with, I'm going to use this transversal since we're talking about CDE. And so we know angle B is, and I need to use this transversal, sorry. Angle B, we got this transversal here, is 3x minus 10, and CDE, those two angles, our hint here is that we have corresponding angles, okay? So whenever we have corresponding angles with parallel lines, they're congruent. So we should know that angle B is equal to angle CDE. And I'm going to use that to substitute to solve for x. You have to write the equation to solve for x to get this problem. So angle B was our 3x minus 10, and CD is our x plus 40. If I subtract x from both sides, we get 2x minus 10 equals 40. Then if I go ahead and add that 10 to both sides, we get, and I'm going to move it over here, 2x equals 50. Divide by 2. Yes, I know you got this. X is 25. So if I divide by 2, x is 25. So now to find the measure of that angle, we have to plug it back in. So we're going to plug this 25 into this expression right here, which is basically, I'm saying 3 times 25 minus 10. Well, 3 times 25 is 75 minus 10, answer is 65. And then, because I know they're corresponding, they're congruent, well, I already know that one is 65 as well. So on these two questions, they want us to look at this map over here to the right to solve it. Okay, use your map to answer the following questions. We want to look at 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are same side interior, which means they equal 180. Okay, 8 and 10. 8 and 10, they're alternating the street, North Grand or Guardian Avenue. So these are alternate, and they're in between the lines, the interior angles. And then on 13, to give a counterexample for the following, x and y are cut by a transversal. So here's x and y, cut by a transversal. And the angles 1 and 2 are marked as same side interior. We want a counterexample, so the measure of angle 1 and 2 is 90. The counterexample of that would mean 1 and 2 would have to be perpendicular. The lines would have to be perpendicular, because 90 plus 90 is 180. And this is showing that this is a false example. Alright, so that takes care of that page. Thanks for taking care of that.